Okay, so as such, the new batch people need not worry that there is something which you are missing, because as soon as the world history will finish, most probably, I think, as the schedule will go, for the new batch, we will be starting ancient and medieval. So nothing to worry here that we miss these modules and directly we are going to world history. No tension, nothing. We'll directly go to world even without these two. Wherever there is some connections required, I will put that background story. A few points about the old batch. How many of you all have any memory of ancient and medieval? Don't worry, I'll not ask any questions, okay? గుర్తున్నాయేమన్నా మర్చిపోయారా మొత్తం షిఫ్ట్ డిలీట్ కొట్టిరా చెప్పండి డౌటా ఉన్నాయి okay I'll not ask any questions if you remember. I think in the medieval India last class I asked you a lot of questions. Gurtunda? Yes or no please? Yes. I hope you people remember some things at least, okay? How many of you have made notes for ancient and medieval India? Ancient, some of you might have done it, okay? Medieval, not yet done. How many of hours of classes you are having nowadays? At least from today, any hours classes for the old batch students? 7 to 8 hours, including optional. For the new batch students, how many hours of classes you have daily? Scheduled from today? How many hours? Only one class, my class only. Okay, good for you. Why? Because you can at least revise and come to the class. Yes or no, please? Yes. I think the last time the old batch was facing with that problem. You are not able to revise also and come to the class because of a very heavy schedule that you had. Okay. Nana, now also it's like that only, no? Okay, but still we'll see. World history is slightly different module, Nana. It's not like the ancient and Indian, medieval Indian history. I know the answer, but still I'm asking the question, okay? How many of you have seen the syllabus of world history? I told you I know the answer. None of you might have seen. After 18th century, great here. Okay. So when I say world history, at least this much I should be able to get from you all. Do we have world history for preliminary examination? World history is only for mains. What is the advantage you people will have? No need to remember too many facts. Yes, and that is one advantage you will have. Imagine if world history would have been there for prelims. Again, the same case will go for as for ancient and medieval India. You will have to again memorize a lot of things. But here in that case, we are saved from that thing. So we will have to only go for conceptual part. We should have the storyline in mind very clearly, and the conceptual clarity if we have, we can easily sail through the world history section. Okay. And then before I go into the discussion of world history, a few more observations, then I'll go into that subject. Okay. No need to write anything, just try to understand what I'm trying to say. When you look at world history, as I just now said, you do not have it for preliminary examination, only for mains, full of concepts and stories. In fact, if you ask me personally, of all the 6 modules of history, old batch students can tell me all the modules names: ancient India, medieval India, modern India, post-independence, art and culture, and world history. 6 modules. If anyone asks me personally, which is the module you enjoy teaching the most, I hope you understood the answer. World history. And in fact, as a teacher, Nana, I started my career teaching world history. It was only later on I slowly started teaching ancient, medieval and modern all. Then why do you think I am saying that world history is the most interesting? No bias in actually concepts, Nana. If you see, when I am using the word world history, okay, the scale of your visualization and imagination is not one country. We are talking about the entire world itself. Naturally, don't you think your mind, you will feel very broadened? Till now, when you are studying Indian history, you are like studying about the history of only one country. But now when you are studying about the world history, don't you think you will feel a bit more elevated? Obviously, the scale of imagination is like that. You might have heard some names in world history, but again, we do not know much of them. But we have heard about all these people. Hitler. Country, which country? Very good man, no? Hitler. We are going to study about Hitler. Will we get Hitler in world history?
Yes.
Yes. Napoleon. Names at least we have heard, right? Which country? Napoleon, France. There is some important event called French Revolution. We will come across Napoleon over there. What is the capital of USA? Capital city of USA. Washington DC. You know that Washington is the name of a man? George Washington. We are going to get that person also in this only. Okay. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is known for what ideology? Karl Marx is Marxism. What is that ideology called? Communism. Yes or no? Do we have many communist countries in the world today? There is one very good neighbor, China. Adoka communist daridra country. Yes, please. Always trying to do something to suppress India. Yes or no, please? Okay. That Karl Marx is the person who gave this ideology called communism. We have heard about Lenin. Heard. I'm not asking any questions. Lenin. Lenin, which country? Russia. You will come across him in world history. Stalin. Stalin. Stalin is also from Russia. I understood. From Italy, you're saying Mussolini. Mussolini. Winner? Have you heard these names, right? Okay. Mussolini, Napoleon, Hitler. These are all the people we have to deal with in world history. That's the reason it's very interesting. And I told 2017, first time I came for teaching world history. Because now it's very, very interesting. And fortunately for us, if you know, ancient India, for the old batch, the number of hours, it came to 56 hours. But world history is not so long. World history will finish in somewhere around 35 hours, 35, 40 maximum, because we are saved from facts, right? So we'll need to go only with the stories and all these things. So that is the first point I want to say. World history is very, very different from Indian history because there are a lot of concepts and the kind of people, I just mentioned a few of them, such kind of personalities we are going to deal here. By the way, one more name. Some of you, even the new batch students should be able to, might have heard this name, Mao Zedong. Old batch students should definitely say yes. Yes, please. Mao Zedong winner, and he is the man who made China a communist country. Yes, please. All these people we are going to study in world history now. Okay. Next, the second point I want to say is, when you listen to the word world history, now it might feel a bit frightening that as if you'll have to study the history of all the countries in the world. We don't even study Indian history properly. Where will you really study world history and history of all the countries? I usually tell this in the class. Tell me, if UPSC tomorrow removes syllabus history from the syllabus, will you people be really so interested to learn history? And if we don't have history, interest to study our own history, why we will study world history? But world history is going to be important for a reason, one reason. These people, UPSC, many of you again do not know this. It was in 2013, world history was introduced as a part of general study syllabus. Which means before 2013, there was no world history in general studies at all. We were students at that time, okay? I started my civils preparation as a student in 2009, okay? Till 2013, we did not have world history as part of the syllabus, general studies syllabus at all. Do you know that in 2013 there was a change in the syllabus? Before that there were 2 optionals. They reduced it to 1. So now UPSC will not reduce your burden. If it has removed 1 paper, it has added 2 general studies paper. They removed 1 optional, no? So they added, till that time we used to have 2 general studies, 2 optional papers, 2 optional studies and 2 general studies papers. In 2013 they added 2 new general studies papers. That's when you got ethics. Ethics appude ochindandi. Yes, please. Likewise in history, the main important change was they introduced world history. And now you might think as to what was the necessity that the UPSC felt that even general studies students should know something not only about Indian history but also about world history. Till that time, history optional students history optional students. Those people were studying world history, no doubt about that. But for general studies students, why do you think they introduced world history? Think and tell me if you can get a reason. In 2013, why did UPSC feel that even general studies students should know something not only about Indian history but also the world history? Think. Hey, a simple question. Don't you think many events that happened in the world were going to impact Indian history? Yes, please. The very fact that the language in which I am addressing you people shows the influence of world history on Indian history. I am not speaking in an Indian language. I am speaking to you all in English. And English was not born in India, right? English. Which country was it born? Hey, English. Britain, England, UK, United Kingdom. Yes or no, please? Now, why are we so attached to that language? Don't you think, again, there is a clear influence of world events on Indian history? Yes, please. In the very, very beginning classes of ancient India, the old batch students, I did not address this point with you all. In the very beginning class of ancient India, I generally address this question for many of you. What is the significance of this event year in Indian history? India got independence, yes or no? Ancient India people, students, old batch students are able to recollect. Why did I give this example? Now, many of us, we all know from childhood what they have taught. We got independence in 1947. Now, question is, why in 1947 only? Do you think it's only because of Mahatma Gandhi that we got independence? Or were there some external factors that also were responsible for India getting independence in 1947 only? And without that external event, probably Indian independence would have got even more delayed. What is that event? Now, this is an event associated with Indian history. But you see clearly that there was some other event happening outside India, but that is influencing India. And that event is World War II, from 1939 to 45. In this World War II, there were several countries that were involved, but here I'm only interested in two countries, Britain on one side and Germany on the other side. And you know the leader of Germany at that time, Hitler. So we should thank Hitler indirectly. Don't write in the exam, okay? Simply saying that yes, to some extent, Hitler indirectly influenced Indian history. Yes or no, please? Now, Britain was ruling India. In India, there was some national movement going on. Indian National Congress, Gandhi, Nehru, all these people were leading a national movement against the British rule. Now they are struggling to get free from the British control. But lucky for us that a World War II happened and Hitler was badly damaging Britain in this war. Every day he was going for aerial bombing. If you would have seen Israel bombing Palestinian areas, that was how badly Germany was bombing Britain. Don't you think when Germany is destroying Britain on one hand, Britain's control over India, is there a chance that it will get a bit weakened? Yes or no, please? Yes. Will it make easier for the Indian national leaders to get rid of British, throw them away and get independence then? Yes. Now what is very, very clear for you is that without studying world history, we can not really completely appreciate Indian history. The only point is that in ancient and medieval times, India impacted the world more. But in modern times, it is world that is impacting India more. That's the reason when I teach ancient and medieval, I really am not interested in telling what events, world events impacted India. Ancient Indian, old batch students, can you tell me, did India impact the world in ancient times in any way? Think. Old batch students. Buddhism spread from India. Even today, Buddhism is a majority religion in many countries. Can you tell me a few countries where Buddhism is still being practiced? Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka, Nana? Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country. Yes. Even new batch students, you should be able to connect, okay? Buddhist, Bhutan, Buddhist country. Myanmar, Buddhist country. Thailand, Buddhist country. Cambodia, Buddhist. Where was Buddhism born? In India. So here you see, in ancient and medieval, there were many events in India which impacted the world. The name in medieval India also we saw that the Muslims came to rule this country. Where did they get the number system from? India. Zero was invented in India, not Aryabhatta. You cannot say that here. We know zero was invented in India, but not by Aryabhatta. Okay. Now, so many, you remember Ayurveda? Ayurveda also spread to the world. You remember Sushruta? Yes. Who is Sushruta, please? Surgery, Nana. He was the father of surgery. Even Sushruta is celebrated so much in the world history. Yes, please. So, ancient medieval times, India was impacting world history, but complete reversal has happened here in the modern times. They have become more superior than us. Why did they become more superior than us? Why are they dominating over us? That is what we are going to study now, slowly, okay? So that is the reason why I ensure that If in any institute I am allowed to teach all the 6 modules. Some institutes give us only few modules. Some institute give us all the modules. Here, luckily, I am getting all the modules. I'll only teach for you people. Whenever I am given a choice to teach all the 6 modules, I ensure that after ancient and medieval, it is world history, and only then we go into modern India. After that, again modern India. Don't you think post-independence will be a continuation from modern? Yes. Because modern will end in which year? 1947. Post-independence will start in 1947. I hope you understood the sequence. And lastly, then we will take this art and culture is one of the most boring section. You know that? Why? Facts. Too many facts. Temple, masjid. This is what you'll have to study. Pain, I leave it to the last. That's the reason we throw it last. Okay. So now you understood what is the logic behind teaching world history before we go for modern India. Okay, Nana? There are so many connections, Nana. You might have heard this in world history, Nana. In modern India. I'll take this word actually. Post-independence law. We have all heard about Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi. So, for old batch also, it did not complete post-independence. So, at this point is new for both of you. Socialist is a word that Indira Gandhi put in the preamble of the Indian Constitution in the year 1976. Are you aware of that? Yes, please. 1976 law. That was a time when she imposed something called as emergency in India. And after putting emergency, this lady had the guts and courage to go and amend the Constitution. Amen. Indira Gandhi పేరు చెప్పగానే భయపడ్డారు. ఫెస్టివల్ ఇది టీచర్ డబ్బు. Now this lady, she amended the constitution in emergency time and included this word called socialist and vettinది. Now you tell me, socialist ideology or this another ideology which is very very similar to it is communist ideology. When will you really understand the word socialist there in the preamble? When you first understand what is socialism and what is communism. Where are we going to study that, world history? Why? Socialism and communism as ideologies, were they born in India, please? No, please. They are born in outside India. And particularly this man called Karl Marx. So you will see 100 such connections. The more you understand world history, the better you will enjoy modern India. In fact, even post-independence also depends a lot on your world history. So this is the second point I wanted to say. The first point I told about world history was it is conceptual. It is only for mains. So we can go with stories and all these things. The second thing is, till before 2013, it was not a part of your syllabus. Since 2013, it became a part of syllabus. Why did they include an ante? Because if you want to understand Indian history, world history is important. Unko reason ఏంటి తెలుసా? Don't you think this also will become easy for you if you have a background for world history? Yes. The present international relations. For example, I'll take one thing. Israel-Palestine conflict. Is it a burning issue in the foreign international issues? Every day in, day out, do you see some news? Yes or no? Israeli defense forces charging into Hamas, trying to blast that Palestine. All these are happening. Since when is this conflict happening? Yesterday, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Since the year 1948. Why 1948? Only I told that was the year when Israel was created. Till that time, there is no country called Israel on the world map. 1948 varaku, there is no country on the world map called as Israel. 1948, they created Israel. And after that, you will see the Palestine and Israel conflict is going to start. Now, why Israel was created in 1948? One example, I'll discuss this and then we'll go forward. 1948 lo Israel was created. Anyone can tell me what is the main religious community that lives in Israel? There are the people called Jews and they follow religion called as Judaism. Okay, these are the people Jews. Actually, before this creation of this country of Israel, Jews did not have their own country, and they were living as minorities in not only in Germany, they were living as minorities in entire Europe. Europe is mainly by which religion? Christians. Under Christian majority countries of Europe, Jews were living like minorities, and there was a sense of hatred between these two communities. Why is that hatred? Old batch students should know that. Ideology. Judaism and Christians and Muslims, they keep fighting among themselves. I've already discussed with the old batch students. Yes, please. Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Islam, Christianity. Old batch people should tell me this, yes or no? Hey, ఏంద్ర ఇంత గుర్తులేదు చిన్న చెప్పినా కదా అంటే ఇట్స్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ లైక్ ఓల్డ్ ఈజ్ న్యూ ఓన్లీ మరి Nana? Last prophet ever one is. Yes, please. Okay. For new batch students, just take it granted that right now I cannot go into the details. There are three religions, Nana, which we know: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. All these three religions are actually related to each other. Okay, but they have some problems between themselves. They hate each other in a way. Okay. Now, European countries were Chapale. Christian majority, in which Jews were living as minorities, and obviously the Christians were suppressing the Jews. And one such monster who came up was Hitler. Have you heard Hitler has killed, in his lifetime he should have killed somewhere around one man killed 15 million. How many lakhs? 150 lakhs. How many crores? 1.5 crore people he has killed. Of all these, nearly 50% constitute one particular community called Jews. He is killing Jews systematically. Of this andajaga, 6 million Jews this man has killed in the few years when he was in power. So which, if we just imagine, if Hitler is targeting one particular community and killing them so systematically, there should be some hatred against the Jews, right? No, yes, naturally. And the 6 million Jews that this man had killed was equivalent to nearly, you can imagine, 2/3 of the entire Jewish population of Europe at that time. 6 million is constituting to be 2/3 of the entire Jewish population in Europe at that time. Which means, if some more, Hitler would have won the World War II, what would have happened? Think and tell. If Hitler would have won the World War II, what would have happened to these people, Jews? Can I say he would have ensured that they are completely wiped out? Even the remaining 1/3 that could have gone. And after 1945, when Hitler was defeated, okay, can you see how much of a close connection that the modern international relations have with the world history? Okay, in 1945, when Hitler was defeated, Hitler committed suicide and died. Okay, and then the world came to know what kind of atrocities Hitler has done to the Jews. Don't you think at this point of time, when all these killings of Jews has come to the public notice outside Germany, will there be some sympathy for Jews? Yes. Untada sympathy ostada emane? As long as these people will live as minorities in other countries, they are under the threat of elimination. So what should happen now? Please tell me. Now Jews have started making a demand. They actually started making a demand earlier only. After World War II, it became more intensified, saying that we Jews, we need a separate country for ourselves. Now the problem is, who will give them land? Why will if someone comes and says, because you are killing those people in India, we will give some space for them and make a separate country here, and will anyone accept that? No, please. And that's where the entire problem comes from. And finally, in the year 1948, a separate country for Jews was created called as Israel, in an area what you call today as Israel, that was Palestine at the time. And sidelining some of the Palestinians, Israelis were settled Jews. I hope you're able to see that conflict over there. So you will appreciate that Palestine-Israel conflict only if you see this world history background. Now you understand why UPSC thought everyone must know some world history at least. Yes, please. And last reason I'll give you is that we are all living in a globalized world. Yes or no, please? You cannot afford to live like a frog in a well anymore. Do you know that when UPSC conducts this exam called Civil Services Examination, many of us go for this only. Ee options untai manaki. Edi IAS, IPS. Do you know that there is another excellent service? Abba, idokati. Unkoke nanu తీసుకుంటున్నా. Excellent service. ఏం చెప్పండి? ఏంటన్నా? Foreign service. There is a foreign service also that I am not concerned. Foreign service nana. IFS. దీంట్లో బ్యూటీ ఏం తెలుసా? ఇప్పుడు రైట్ నౌ there is a foreign minister. చెప్తారా? Jai Shankar. Do you know that in his lifetime he was a foreign secretary first? Foreign secretary and ante. Don't you think he should have cleared UPSC? Have you all any time seen జైశంకర్ స్పీచ్ చూడకపోతే నీ లైఫ్ వేస్ట్. చూసినావా జైశంకర్ స్పీచెస్ ఎప్పుడైనా? రీసెంట్లీ హస్ గివెన్ అ స్పీచ్ ఇన్ యునైటెడ్ నేషన్స్. షుడ్ సీ ద వే విత్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ హీ స్పీక్స్. డిడ్ యూ సీ దట్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఇన్ హిస్ ఐస్ అండ్ అ టోన్ అండ్ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎట్లుంటే చూసిరండి. వేర్ ఈస్ హీ గెటింగ్ ఆల్ దిస్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఫ్రమ్? హీఈస్ talking to world leaders and on very sensitive world issues. Yes or no, please? Unless and until this man has a very strong grip on world history, do you think he'll be able to speak all those things? No, please. You'll have to speak on the world stage. Are a district law IAS officer maatladtadabba in a district, okay, but an IFS officer, when he becomes an ambassador or a secretary, chepala, he has to speak on international media level maatladala. Not an easy task. That's the reason why they decided that we should keep world history as part of general studies syllabus. For me, when I was a student at that time, don't you think it would have been a very painful issue for me? Because that was the last 1 or 2 attempts, and we did not have any sources, no courses, no teachers for world history. We had to do it sudden ga pettinappa. So we don't have any courses, no websites, no teachers, or no courses are available where to study this world history. Literally I struggled for a few months, but then once I started getting the taste, I felt that today as a teacher, when I look back, in those times I really scolded UPSC because that was my last 1 or 2 attempts. It was difficult for us, but now I actually feel blessed. Why? Because that's giving us a chance to understand what is happening outside India. Yes or no? Is it enlarging your mind? Have you heard the story of frog in a well? Without studying world history, we are all like frogs in a well. Baila kappalaga. Yes, please. But once you understand what is happening outside India, probably you will understand India also in a better light. Can I say so? Yes, please. Andukande, that's the reason why world history is definitely going to be more important. Another point I just now said, third, is that when you listen to the word world history, you may feel that it is as if you're studying entire world history. But essentially speaking, no. You are going to study history of only one continent called Europe. Now you should ask me a question. What is the name of this? World history and antunna. But I'm saying again that when you hear world history, you don't think that you should study history of all the countries. You are essentially going to study history of only Europe. Now you should ask me a question then. Why Europe only? Yes or no, please? Naturally that question should come to your mind. That's where I'm slowly getting into the subject as such. I'll show you some pictures and then we'll write some points. We all keep using these words in developed countries, developing countries, underdeveloped countries and vartama. I'll ask you, even if you go to a school and ask some children, what are developed countries? Tell me some developed countries. And the first name USA. He or she does not know anything about USA. They might not even seen one line of USA history also. But still, our answer will come straight USA. Some other developed countries? Japan and సింగపూర్ ఇంకా అన్ని తర్వాత చెప్తున్నారు మీరు. మెయిన్ చెప్పాలి. యూకే, ఫ్రాన్స్, జర్మనీ, Portugal, Spain, these are the countries. Yes or no, please? Nice. Just look at this and we will see some points. You will understand. Look at this map now, sir. I told you now, beauty of world history is you are not like a frog in a well. You are seeing the entire world at once, okay? You see the color combinations without even needing to look at there. The purple one should be? Purple ones should be developed. Obviously the orange or yellow ones should be developing and the dark orange one should be least developed or underdeveloped countries as we call it. Yes or no, please? Yes, please, sure. Have a look at all the purple color countries, okay, and tell me which among these countries would have developed first. Even these are developed. Australia is developed. This is New Zealand. This is Japan. Right here, this is South Korea. Ikkada Hong Kong, Taiwan, these are the small countries, and here it's not shown actually, it's here, Singapore. Okay, these are some developed countries. These are some developed USA and Canada. Okay. Of all these purple colors, you think and tell me which of them developed first? At least which continent developed first? Europe. Now these people developed and then they developed and they developed. Which means all the countries which are developed today have essentially followed in the footsteps of which continent then? Europe. Just now, sometime back, what did I say? When I say the word world history, you need not really study about world history as such. You will have to study mainly about European history because all these countries are essentially following the path laid down by Europe. Yes or no, please? Are you able to understand what I am trying to say, please? And new batch students, are you finding any difficult to follow? No, please. Now, have a look at this. USA, Canada. I'll show you some pictures, then you'll understand. Try, even though old batch students have never discussed any of these things with you all, so everyone can answer this question. Is it or was it the native people living in Americas, native people living here, original natives, did they develop America?
No.
Or is it the migrants from Europe who went there and developed America? Migrants. What is the language spoken in America? English. Was English born here? No, please. English is born here. Which means it is not the native people of America who developed America. It is the European migrants. Canada. What is the main language in Canada? Two languages. English and French. Again, English and French were both born Europe. So there also what influence do you find? European influence. These are called generally South America. If you have an idea, the Mexico and the small islands here and this part is called Latin America. You might have heard that? Yes, please. What are the main languages spoken there? Have you any idea? Do you have any idea? What are the main languages spoken here? No, don't. If you do not know, not an issue. The Spanish, correct. Here, the main languages spoken in Latin America are Spanish language. And to some extent, Portuguese language also. Now, where are this Spanish and Portuguese language born? It is Spain. This is Portugal. This is Spain. So now, can I say entire North America and South America are under the European influence? Yes or no, please? Sure. Is everyone following? I am trying to justify one point which I just now made, that world history is actually synonymous to European history because entire world is influenced by European culture itself. Okay. Now, then Australia. Again, Australia is also, you can see, a developed country. Anyone can tell me what is the language spoken by in Australia again? Malli English, Australian English under the. And English is again not born in Australia. Again coming from there, which means who developed Australia then? Again, the British migrants who went and settled down there, they only developed Australia. Yes, please. Same goes for New Zealand also. Japan. No, they speak Japanese language. There is not an European language, it's their own language. But please tell me, do you think Japan developed economically in a completely different manner, or do you think they should have followed the European model to some extent? Completely different model, or they reinvented everything themselves, or definitely don't you think they would have had some influence until looking at Europeans, Americans, how these people have developed, they should have learned some lessons and then decided that we should also develop? Yes or no, please? So the model followed by Japanese people is also kind of an imitation of European model of development. Will you agree with that? Can I also say the same will be the case with South Korea and all these developed countries? So on the map, all the purple developed countries that you're seeing are essentially following the path of Europe. These countries, linguistically, you can clearly see the influence of Europe. Let us take China. China is a developing country, so they've given a yellow color. In China, what is the ideology that is run by the country? Communist. I told you who is the man who gave rise to this communist ideology? Karl Marx. And they are following communist ideology, and that is not their own ideology. That communist ideology is also coming from where? You know which country Karl Marx was born? Germany. Germany. The ideology that is born there is being followed by China. China ku oka chinna brother untadu telusa? ఇక్కడ ఉంటాడు. Hey, కాదురా, ఒక డేంజరస్ ఫెలో కదా బాబు, కిమ్ జాంగ్ ఉన్, నార్త్ కొరియా. తెలుసు, దట్స్ ఆల్సో కమ్యూనిస్ట్ కంట్రీ. ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. కమ్యూనిస్ట్ కంట్రీ అని అంటే దే ఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్ కమ్యూనిజం, బట్ కమ్యూనిజం వాజ్ నాట్ బోర్న్ ఇన్ Their countries. Which continent it was born? Europe. Which means again there also which influence you are seeing? European influence. Take this great country, India. Language we are speaking is English. I think I should have told this point in your class. Even if I have not told, it's okay. In India law, if you speak a bit of good English, you are considered a slightly more superior person. Yes or no, please? Unda ee country lo pain unda ledanda? Just because you can nicely speak in some fine English, hey dude, how you man? Untadu kada style koncham pitchy style. If you do like that, some people feel that you are superior. Unda leda pitchy? Yes or no, please? Well, why did you get that? Which means again English is a language not from India. Clearly European influence. Okay, antenduku. Railways in India. Who put railways in India? British people. We fought so hard against the British and kicked them away, no? Did we kick them away in 1947?
Yes.
Yes. Then why don't you blast all the railways?
It is.
Mali adi kavali. You want railways? Yes, please. But you don't want British. It is the British people who put railways. Yes or no, please? The first cars in India roamed in which time, British rule only. Then throw away the cars, no? No, you will not. And indirectly, we are also under the influence of Europe only. Let us take Saudi Arabia. Is Saudi Arabia a developed country? Not completely developed as Europe, but definitely the standard of living in Saudi Arabia is far better than us.
Yes.
What is their economy dependent upon? Fuel. Export of oil, petrol and all these. Where are they getting all this petrol? They are drawing it from their they're inside that crust. Whose technology they are using to extract that oil? Saudi Arabians, they brought the technology, or is it European technology again? European technology. Please show me one place on the earth where you don't find European technologies or European influence. Did you understand what am I trying to say? Yes, please. Essentially, what is the point I am trying to say? You told anta seek ledu manaki world history, anni countries we cannot study. We don't have that interest and we need not study also. That's what I'm trying to say. We should study European history, and you're essentially understanding the world history because it is Europe that has influenced all these things. In childhood, you have all read a lot of books, like physics, chemistry, maths. I'll take some names. See if you have heard these names. చిన్నప్పుడు రూథర్ ఫోర్డ్ అని పేరు విని ఉంటారు. అబ్బా ఏంట్రా అయ్యేదో ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ప్రోటాన్ చేస్తారా వీళ్ళు. నీల్స్ బోర్ విన్నరా? ఓకే. ఇంకా డాల్టన్స్ లా ఆఫ్ ఆటమ్స్ అని ఉంటుంది ఒకటి, విన్నరా ఇవన్నీ? ఇంకా జే థామ్సన్. అబ్బా బాగానే చదువుకురు అయితే. గుర్తొస్తున్నాయా? ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. ఇండియన్సా వీళ్ళంతా? ఇండియన్సా? ఎందుకు మరి? వై దే ఆర్ యూరోపియన్స్ ఓన్లీ? వీడు నాకు చెప్తున్నా. ఈ కెమిస్ట్రీలో ఎప్పుడన్నా విన్నరా? క్యావెండిష్ వాడెవడు ఇది గ్యాస్ సమ్ ఆక్సిజన్ ఏదో తీస్తాడు వాడు. చాలా పేర్లు ఉంటాయండి. నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు రికలెక్ట్. వీడి పేరు పీరియాడిక్ టేబుల్ మెండలీవ్. వేర్ డిడ్ ఆల్ దీస్ పీపుల్ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్? యూరోప్. న్యూటన్, యూరోప్. రాబర్ట్ హుక్, చెప్పండి. బయాలజీ కరెక్ట్? సెల్. Robert Hooke అనేసి. Yes or no? All these people have come from Europe only. Yes, please. In childhood, these are the names that we have studied, all of us. Yes, please. Unknowingly, we have studied so much about Europe, but don't know anything about European history. And how much these people have influenced our history. In ancient India, you should have heard one university called Nalanda University. Even the new batch students should have heard it, right? Nalanda University. Yes or no? In that times, people from the world used to come to India and study in Nalanda University. But today, shamelessly, we keep running to Oxford, Cambridge, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yes or no, please? Why am I trying to tell that world history is important? I've still not got into world history. I've not started the subject. I'm just laying the foundation to tell you why world history is so important for us. Yes, please. I'll show you another map, then we'll see. I need not explain in Africa. Everywhere, if all these countries are influenced by European culture and technology, naturally even Africa will be influenced by European culture and technology. Okay. One more point, then I'll go to the next page. We are all using every day. Who invented you? Indians invented. But we can use. Indians are very good at using things, okay? Now, they don't even understand how. Yes, please, it's not to mock my own country, but that is how we live. మనం వాడుకుంటాం నన్న వస్తువులను బాగా, కానీ how that thing works, we don't have even a basic idea. ఇది వాడుతున్నారా? వాడుతురా? ఎట్లా పనిచేస్తా చెప్పండి? How does your mobile function? There should be some technology behind it. Some waves are going. I give a call. That message will be taken by the one satellite. Malla akkada pampistadi. Yes or no? Now just imagine what kind of wonderful technologies we are using. Now, even if some of these technologies would have come from America, but essentially Americans have come from Europe. So can I say again Europeans? Idi vaartunnama manam. Vehicles vaartunnama? Cars, bikes అన్ని వాడుతున్నాం అగైన్ who invented all these things? Again Europeans. I'll make one statement, see if you can agree with that. Whether you accept it or not, whether you are conscious of it or not, we are all living in a world that is dominated by European culture and technology.
Yes.
అర్థమైందా నేను చెప్పిన పాయింట్? Whether we accept it or not, whether we are conscious of it or not, we are all living in a world dominated by European culture and European technology. See many of our Bollywood movies. Which culture do they portray much? Western culture. Western. Nowadays again they are slightly changing their colors, okay? Because BJP is in power. Tappaka edo koncham Hindu culture they are trying to showcase. But general tendency of Bollywood is towards which culture, please? Western culture. దరిద్రమైన సినిమాలు వస్తాయి మధ్యలో. ఈ ఇప్పుడు చూడండి అన్న, జనరల్గా మన మూవీస్లో యాక్టర్స్ వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డ్రెస్సెస్ దే ఆర్ వేరింగ్? వెస్టర్నా ఇండియన్ అండి? వెస్టర్న్. అంతే, ఎప్పుడు అంతే. అదే వెదర్ యూఆర్ కాన్షియస్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ఆర్ నాట్, యూఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ డామినేటెడ్ బై Europeans. We are completely westernizing ourselves, and problem, we westernize ourselves and we think we are modernizing. We are fools. We are not modernizing. Many of us are actually westernizing. We'll go to Bangalore. Bangalore lo software untadi kadandi. Have you seen night life of these people? You will get vomiting. Mahatma Gandhi, if he comes alive and sees this country, you don't need to kill him. He will hang himself. Yes or no, please, Chappa? If Gandhi comes alive and sees, wow, what a beautiful country you people are. అందుకే అంటే మన October 2nd అయింది కదండి, దట్ ఈస్ నో ఆల్కహాల్ డే, బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇట్స్ ఫుల్ ఆల్కహాల్ డే. జనాలు ఆ రోజే ఎక్కువ తాగుతారు. దే బూస్ ఎంటైర్ డే. ఎందుకు? అరే ఆన్ October 2nd you will not sell liquor. Don't you think people already know that? They will buy a stock before itself. And on the day you are giving a holiday, ఏం చేస్తారు అబ్బా? घर में बैठ के पिएंगे. Yes, please. If Gandhi comes alive and sees this country, he will say you people should have been better slaves of British instead of becoming independent drunkards. Yes or no? అవును మళ్ళీ. మీకు ఇప్పుడు సినిమాలో ఓకేనా? ఇవిరా ఏమంటారు, వెబ్ సిరీస్, అబ్బా వల్గారిటీ అట్ పీక్స్. తెలుసా మీకు? What beautiful language they speak, చూడాలన్నా, you should know all these things. Okay, I'm not saying become like that, but at least you should know. Web series lo very abusive language is being used. Yes. All kind of obscene scenes, sexual scenes. అదొక సెమీ పాన్ అయిపోయింది. అది తెలుసా మీకు? వెబ్ సిరీస్ ఓకే తెలుసా మీకు? కొద్ది డోంట్ యాక్ట్, ఓకే? ఏదో చిన్న పిల్లల లెక్క, మీకు ఏదో ముద్ద పూసల లెక్క ఉండకండి. మీకు తెలుసు అన్నీ. ఏసన్నో సెమీ పాన్ లాగా చేసి పెట్టిండా లేదా? వచ్చేస్తున్నాయి ఫీలింగ్స్ అని ఒక పాట, దరిద్ర పాట తీసుకొచ్చారు మధ్యలో. గాంధీని కూర్చోబెట్టి చూపిద్దాం పాట, నవ్వుతారు. We will ask Gandhi, see what your independent Indians are doing, Mr. Gandhi. అంటే పొడుచుకొని చచ్చిపోతాడు మీ గాంధీ కాదా? నేను చెప్పండి. And do you think that is modernization? That is foolish westernization. We are fools because our education system is so bad. We are never told about our culture. Yes or no, please? We are never told about the Indian culture at all. We are always to think that who is advanced? Western, Western, Western. Old batch student should tell me one word where, think and tell, okay? Don't insult me in front of the new batch. British people who started studying Indian history, they distorted Indian history in such a way that Indians will feel their culture is inferior and British culture is superior. What is the two-word term that I gave you all? Chepte great up, I'll feel happy. I'll feel boosted up. Did you get my question? British people, scholars, when they read Indian history, they found positives in Indian history, negatives in Indian history. But they deliberately highlighted negatives in Indian history, hidden positives in Indian history, and showed only positives of their history. Because they wanted us to feel that Indian culture is inferior, so Western culture is superior. What is the term, two-word term I used? Colonial? No. Colonial mentality. Colonial mentality? At least old batch students. Colonialism and foreign rule. A foreign occupier who is ruling you, will he say your culture is great or his culture is great? Their culture is greater than your culture. And don't you think even today, we are culturally the slaves of Western people?
Yes.
Yes or no, please? That's what Gandhi stands for. When I come to post-independence, I'll blow your mind and you'll understand how much I love Gandhi. Yes, please. Actually, there are some reasons. Otherwise, I blast Gandhi so badly. Don't worry, I'll blast him also, okay? Gandhi, Gauranga, I'll criticize him, I'll troll this man. But still, there are some aspects of Gandhi we should really be proud of. Gandhi, in 1947, India got only political independence. India has not got cultural independence. And we kicked out the British people from our country. But we could not kick out the British culture or Western culture from our minds. Mana land lonchi British people were kicked out, but from our minds, Western culture is still not going away completely. So you will see that Gandhi was concerned more of which independence? Is it political independence only or more concerned about cultural independence? Cultural independence. That's where Gandhi actually becomes important for us. I hope you're able to see this. Why am I telling all this? Because that is how much we are unconsciously programmed by Western culture. We are westernizing and thinking modernizing. The dress we are wearing, I'm wearing ఇప్పుడు ప్యాంటు షర్ట్ వేసుకున్నాను, బెల్ట్, షూస్, ఇవన్నీ ఇండియన్ కల్చర్ ఇది చెప్పబా, వెస్టర్న్ కల్చర్ ఇది కాదా? బట్ నౌ లిసన్ టు మీ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. ఐఎమ్ వేరింగ్ వెస్టర్న్ క్లోత్స్ రైట్. ఈజ్ ఇట్ వెస్టర్న్ క్లోత్ ఆర్ నో, ప్లీజ్? Yes, please, it is Western clothes. I'm very conscious of it. But I don't consider a person wearing a dhoti as backward. That is modernity, if you understand that. If I start feeling that that person with wearing a dhoti is backward, then I am Western. If you want to wear, your choice, you wear whatever dress you want to wear. But don't consider other people who are not wearing the dress as backward and you yourself as forward. But you'll go to చెప్తా ఉంటాను పిల్లలకి, there is this area in Bengaluru, example ఇచ్చాను ఇప్పుడే. In Hyderabad also there is one such dirty area, బంజారా హిల్స్ అని ఉంటుందండి. ఎప్పుడన్నా కావాలని నేను మా వైఫ్ వి యాక్చువల్లీ గో నైట్స్ అట్లానే రౌండ్స్ వేస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఎందుకు? ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం కాదు, టు సీ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ టు మై కంట్రీ. చూస్తున్నా ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా ఉంటుందని నైట్ లైఫ్ అక్కడ. When you see that boys and girls, now you'll feel like vomiting. I told Gandhi, if he sees them, he will commit suicide. Sachpotar Gandhi, hey Yendra, this is my country. What are you people doing here? You are busy becoming westernized. Then where are you Indian anymore? Okay, you are not at all an Indian in this way. So whether we accept it or not, whether we are conscious of it or not, we are actually seriously under the influence of Western culture. There are nearly 5%, 6% natives remaining. Okay. Forced migration from America. Almost every part of the world is influenced. Then who influenced Europe to become like that? We changed the world order. I'll come to that. Rajesh is asking a small doubt there online. Europe has influenced the entire world? Please.
Yes.
He's influencing?
Yes.
He's influencing or no?
Yes.
He's asking, who influenced Europe? Europe is influencing us today. Then who influenced Europe? That's what is all about world history. That is the details we'll study, Rajesh. Okay, now don't worry. That is what is my entire concern. We will study that. I'll come to this point now very soon. Europe has dominated entire world. Okay, but the question simply should come into your mind is, what has made Europe so dominant? There were some developments that happened in Europe in some time, because of which it has become so dominant and it has dominated the rest of the world. Now you tell me, what do you think we will study in world history? Don't you think? What are the events and developments that happened in Europe, because of which it became so powerful? Yes or no, please? That's what we are going to study. Fine, Rajesh, that's what I'm going to address very shortly. Last night. Now, if you'll see these places, here you will find many young people wearing Western clothes. I told you now, listen to my argument properly. Even I'm wearing Western clothes to some extent, okay? But these people, if you go there, tone jeans, psycho hairstyles, yo-yo, if they consider themselves great, it's okay. You think you're great? Just because of you're wearing these clothes, no great advanced, you go and think like that, not a problem for me. But when I and my wife go in some simple dress, if you start calling us, hey, you backward guys, what I'm trying to say? Yes, please. You want to wear Western? You wear, you have that freedom. But don't consider those people who are wearing non-Western clothes as inferior to you. If you are thinking like that, then you are becoming westernized. You are not becoming modernized. I hope you understand the difference between them. I'll make you write many of these points slowly as I go forward. Okay. Next, Nana. So naturally, if you look at this picture, you will clearly understand that everywhere there is an influence of Europe, and that's what Rajesh was asking, which I was about to tell. Which means, if Europe has influenced the entire world, don't you think some event should have happened in Europe that has made Europe so powerful? And studying those events itself is world history. Yes, please. That's what I was trying to summarize. Why world history does not mean entire world history, but in fact only European history as such. Next, Nana. I'll give you time. I'll make you write all these points. Nana, is this color combination okay for you? Actually, I wanted to find a darker version, but then Uttara Bhavanok. Okay, we'll go for this only. Now, this map, Nana, is showing you, look at that heading. Just look at that heading once. Nana, visible to the last? Countries that have been under European control. This continent, the purple, light purple, violet color is what is Europe. Okay. They've given for other areas, they've given some other colors. Okay. Here it is green color. At least people nearby can see this. What is written, colonized or controlled by Europe. Just look at that map and see what amount of the world they have controlled and colonized. I mean, the 75% of the world is covered there only. North America out. North America out, no? South. Nana? Okay, it's writing, no? Entire North out, South America out, Africa colonized, India, a good part of Asia, Australia out. Yes or no, please? Next. There, this portion, this one, light green. What is it written here? Partial European control. You find there some partial European control. Here, this is modern country called Turkey. This is mainly Saudi Arabia. Even they were under partial European control, if not like us who are directly under British rule. But still partial influence you can see there. Next, some yellow color, Mongolia country. Iran, this is Afghanistan, this is Iran. Even there you see what? European sphere of influence. Which means influence is there or no? Only few countries which are slightly orange color. Japan, Korea and all. Only they were never colonized by Europe. Doesn't mean that European influence is not there. Please tell me now, looking at this map, European influence is felt on? Entire world. Now that's the reason I hope you are able to understand my logic. Why am I saying repeatedly the same point again and again? That world history does not mean history of all the countries. You study European history and you're actually on dot. You're there. Okay. Now, can I say today, presently in the current era, the year that we are living in these times, is it, can I more in a general way I will say, Europe and America, I will club and say Western countries. Because America is also coming from Europeans only. I'll club both of these people and say, the world is dominated by the Western countries. You accept that? Yes, please. Now my question to you all is, was this the situation of the world since the day one? No, please. Now I'm going to show a third map and that will be slightly more complicated. Then I'll start making you write some points. Slightly difficult to understand, but we will try anyway. Okay, we'll have a look at this map. Look at the heading of this map. 2000 years of economic history in one chart. You can see a y-axis and an x-axis. Okay, x-axis is representing what? If anyone can see that, the timeline. They are taking first AD, that is first year. From there, they are brought to 2017. So can I say roughly say this is like similar 2025? Yes, please. Now they are showing the map here of the years. See on the y-axis, what do you find here? It's written as share of GDP. Now, every country will have some economic size. India's GDP, Japan's GDP, Pakistan's GDP. Yes or no, please? Okay. If you take the entire world GDP, what is the size of the entire world economy? Okay. What is they're trying to show is that what was the share of each country in the world GDP, share of each country's GDP in the world GDP, and I see they are showing this map. Okay. Now look at the color combinations over here. Once, can you see here red color? China. The yellow color is India. Just look at that initial part till here. Till here. Which two countries are dominating the world economy? See and tell. Can you see? India is contributing initially. If I say, let us take it 20. It is slightly less than 20 here. Let us take 20 till 55. And in the world GDP, how much India is contributing? How much percent? 35% of world GDP is coming from one country. The reason is because when you call India in those times, there is no Pakistan and Bangladesh on a time low. Pakistan was also part of India. Bangladesh was also part of India. Yes or no, please? Yes. It was only artificially in 1947 they broke it. See the other country? China. Adoko 30%. Ante tell me, nearly 60-65% of the world GDP is coming from only two countries. Please tell me which both these countries are in which continent then? Asia. Who was dominating the world economy till roughly I'll say, can I say 1700 to be beginning of 18th century, Anocha?
Yes.
Which century we are living right now? 20th or 21st? 21st. So can I say 1700 to be the beginning of 18th century? Can you see, do you find a change from 1700 roughly in India and China? What is happening? Please tell me fastly now. Ikkada peak undi nanu chusko. Roughly. And after that, what is happening? Declining, shrinking. What about China? Expanded to some extent, but again it is shrinking. When these two countries' economy is shrinking, someone else is expanding. చూసుకోండి అక్కడ ఇప్పుడు దే ఆర్ నథింగ్ అన్న. ఈ ఆరెంజ్ కలర్ ఎవరిది? జపాన్. ఇక్కడ ఈ లైట్ బ్లూ రష్యా. ఐ హోప్ యూర్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ దిస్ డార్క్ బ్లూ ఇస్ బ్రిటైన్. ఇది అన్న, ఇది. సో యుల్ సీ, ఆర్ దీస్ ఎక్స్పాండింగ్? The traditional powers are declining, they are expanding. And then the turning point that happened here is roughly 1700, that is 18th century. Now did you understand why UPSC gave in the syllabus world history from, you told me in the beginning, no? Which century world history starting from? 18th century. So don't think UPSC is so harsh. What UPSC has done for you people has simplified world history. It has given world history not from ancient times. In Indian history, do we study ancient India?
Yes.
Do we study medieval India?
Yes.
Modern India? But in world, you don't need to study ancient world, you don't need to study medieval world, but we need to study modern world history. And again, as I said, when you're talking about world history, it is essentially European history. We are, in the syllabus, there is no ancient European history, no medieval European history, but modern European history. And within modern European history also, you will study later on that it is early and late modern. What is there in syllabus, strictly speaking? Within modern also చెప్పాలి. Late modern, early modern కూడా లేదన్న syllabus లో. Only the late modern part is there in the syllabus. So can I say this is the turning point in the world history, that century? Yes, please. Till that century, please tell me who dominated the world before 18th century? India and China, or can I say Asia? And since 18th century? And since 18th century, they are rising, and from that, these people are falling down. What should be the question that should come to your mind? Why is it happening? To understand why suddenly Europe is started rising, what history should you study? European history. When you go and study some events that happened in European history, will you get an idea about these are the events that allowed Europe to become so powerful? Yes or no? That's what the UPSC wants you to learn. Why? Tell me now. Why does UPSC want you to learn European history from 18th century? Think and tell. Inta logic cheppina, ippudu inta pedda story cheppina, think and tell me, what does UPSC want you to learn?
Impact of the incidents on
Inka, by learning, you are going to study in European history some events because of which they became so powerful. Yes or no? Why did they include you in syllabus, that in syllabus? Because if you know, tomorrow you are aspiring civil servants, right? Yes or no, please? Suppose you get into the service, chapale. UPSC wants you to understand how that countries became powerful, so that chapale, something similar we can also do in our country. Ardhamaindandi? Did you understand what am I trying to say? That is the practical side UPSC wants from you. Ante in the exam you'll write about Napoleon, Hitler, French Revolution, American Revolution, Russian Revolution, and you'll get marks and forget it. They want you to learn how those people rose, and they want you to learn something. And if you see, can you do something for India also? I hope you understood that practical side, why UPSC has introduced this syllabus. Now I want you people to start writing down some points. Take a fresh page and give your heading World History. World history. చిన్న హెడింగ్ పెట్టండి, బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. By the way, for the new batch students, there is one point I want to say. Generally, my style of teaching is, whenever I start a new module, we go for dictation for a few classes. Okay. Once the dictation part is finished, old batch students know, What I will start doing? I'll be giving you all some printed handouts. And those printed handouts, my expectation will be that you will read and come to the class. When you read and come to the class, you will understand better. And after the class, you go and revise it. One topic you are studying 3 times, that is more than sufficient for a person to understand. And ancient medieval, I know how much people read and came to class. You know, I know. But for world history, I am not going to pardon you. ముందే చెప్పేస్తున్నా ఎందుకు అని అంటే దిస్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఆస్క్ ఎనీ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ దేర్ ఓకే I'll give the handouts well in advance. Tomorrow only I will give the handouts. I'll ask them to start giving printouts to you all. Okay. In some handouts, roughly, as I remember, in the other institute, I was giving Industrial Revolution handout last week, just before Dasra. I think that handout, one alone handout came nearly 40 pages. 40 pages untadi. అర్థమైందా? So better you read and come to the class. ఎట్లా తెలుసా? స్టోరీ లాగా చదవాలా. Don't try to memorize anything. Just go with the flow. Try to visualize what you're studying in your eyes. Keep going, keep going. That basic understanding, if you get, you'll collect the rest of the things in the classroom. Okay. So keep in mind, I am going to give you handouts well in advance and try to ensure that you read and come to the class. If you don't read, also you'll be able to understand the class. But definitely, if you read and come, you'll understand better. Okay. First point in the background law. I've shown you some 3 pictures. 3 pictures చూపించాను. Developed, developing and underdeveloped countries. రెండోది countries under European control. Third is the economic chart. Okay, all those 3 I'm making you list down. Please write down one by one. First one. Map of developed, developing and least developed countries. Developed, map of developed, developing and least developed countries. Developed, developing and least developed countries. Go back home and keep it in mind. If possible, you can take a map of it. Second one. Map of countries. Map of countries that have been. Map of countries that have been under European control. Map of countries that have been under European control. Third. 2,000 years of economic history. 2,000 years of economic history in one chart. Even if you don't take these images and keep as part of your notes, at least when you see these 3 lines, are you able to recollect what we saw? Yes, please. Is it very crucial for you to understand world history in a better way? Context అర్థమైందన్నా అంటే this is not the story part. I'm giving the heading చూడండి ఏమి ఇచ్చాను, background for that story that we are going to start. Okay, next point రాసుకోండి. What was the turning point? Which century? 18th century. That's why I say you intelligently UPSC started the syllabus from 18th century. Please write down. The 18th century is considered as the turning point in world history. Is considered as the turning point in the world history. And write down like this. Below that, 2 branches again. And you'll write before 18th century and after 18th century. One point here on the left hand side. Asia, inside brackets, India and China. Left hand side you're writing before 18th century. Asia, inside brackets, India and China, bracket close, dominated the world economy. Dominated the world economy. Right hand side, coming on this side, after 18th century. This period witnessed the beginning of the rise of Europe. its domination over the rest of the world. Beginning of the rise of Europe and its domination over the rest of the world. And write down in brackets there, on the right hand side only. And obviously some things would have happened there because of which it started becoming powerful. What is that process you know called? Okay. These are all components. Industrial revolution and all are components of the process. The larger process has a word. Write down. Raskundana. Modernization. And these people became modernized. And now for that to understand what is, I'm saying they started modernizing. So the question should come, what should the question be in your mind? What do you mean by modernization, modernity? And how did they become modernized? Why did we not become modernized? Those are some questions that should come to your mind. Okay. Once we get a hold of these words, modernization, modernity, then can we really appreciate and understand the exact events that happened in European history? Yes or no, please? Write down one more last line under this and then we'll go for defining these words, modernity and etc. etc. Several events, understand and write, I have not explained this point, okay? Several events occurred in Europe, between 14th and 17th centuries. 14th and 17th centuries. Because of which the way of thinking of Europeans changed. Because of which the way of thinking of the Europeans changed. Which in turn changed all other aspects of Europe. Which in turn changed all other aspects of Europe. Okay, I want you people to just read that point once for yourself, the last one. I have not explained it. I want you to read it and then we'll discuss. What am I saying? I'm saying, see, 18th century Europe is rising. All of a sudden, they'll start rising. Or don't you think there should have happened some events before 18th century? These events happened when? 14th to 17th centuries, these events happened. Because of which there is a change in what? The way of thinking of Europeans has changed. And because their way of thinking changed, all other aspects of their life has changed. Tell me, Nana, if your way of thinking changes, will it have an impact on your economic activities? Yes. Political life? Yes. Social, religious, everything will change. But first what should change? Way of thinking should change. Without way of thinking change, you will not expect any other changes. Okay. So what has happened in Europe, the syllabus part is this one, Nana, from 18th century. But to understand it, what is happening from 18th century, you should first understand what happened in these centuries. That is the background. That's why I gave the heading as background. Don't expect any questions directly from this section. They will not ask you any questions from 14th to 17th. Why? They will not ask any questions from 14th to 17th. Why? Not a part of syllabus. So don't expect any questions coming from there. Questions will strictly come from 18th. But to understand this, I have to first tell those things. Without telling those, if you are giving me a choice to make some suggestion for UPSC with regards to world history syllabus, I will say even this must be included. Because you know what? Here, way of thinking changed. And for that way of thinking to influence other aspects, the political, economic, social, religious, they happened here, roughly. If you understand that. But the change of thinking happened 14 to 17. Without that, these will not happen. But what is there in syllabus? These are there in syllabus. But what is not in syllabus? Way of thinking. For this, I will require nearly 3 to 4 classes, if you understood that. Once I finish this background, then we will go into the syllabus part. And once I go into the syllabus part, you will understand, I'll raise the speed of the class. Okay. Now, we will go give a small heading under modernity and modernization. We will discuss first and then only I'll make you write under this. Because what is it that gave power to Europe? Is this process called modernization? So we should understand first what is modernity, then we'll understand modernization and why these people became so powerful. But before we go into this, again I have to discuss something else also. For this also there is a background. Ain't a background with them. Okay. Between these two words that I've written on the board, which is a concept and which is a process? Is it process or concept? Processes. Modernize. Your modernization is happening because no country will become modernized in one day. That all of you sleep in the night in pre-modern mindset and next day morning modernize the kadu. But the concept here is modernity. The society will slowly undergo modernization. So I've given the concept here as well as the process by which a society becomes modernized. But now before we go into that, I'll have to again discuss, as I said, some background. First to discuss it. In old batch students may give an answer because I think I discussed this. Generally, I reserve this part for world history only. But still, if you tell a diplomatic answer, okay? Be diplomatic. Suppose this is a question I'm asking you in a UPSC interview. Mr. and Mrs. Chapandi, Miss, that is religion good or bad? It depends upon the person how they use it. Yes or no, please? Religion bad or not? Yes, it is bad. It is good and yes, it is good. In reality, it is neither good nor bad. Question is that. Is it good? Good or bad? I'll poke your eyes. Good? And it depends on how you use it. Religion manchida chedada. It depends on how you use it here. Yes or no, please simply. Now that word you might feel that what is the heading I made you write? Modernity and modernization. Why am I talking about religion? This is the entire difference that comes there. Entire difference between modern mindset and pre-modern mindset is only based on this concept of religion. The way you think will change. That's why I'm talking about that aspect now. Here, in this context, I will direct, when I'm going to make you write, I'll make you write about the definitions of modernity, modernization. I will not make you write about all the concepts of religion I'm going to discuss now. But at a slightly later classes, there I'll make you write what I'm discussing now. Do you understand? About religion, I will discuss some points, but I'll not make you write them now. There is a particular place where I will make you write. It's in a correct context, I'll make you write there. Now, religion, you are saying it is neither good nor bad. It all depends upon how we use it, right? So, fine, I accept that. When you take the word religion, what is the first word that comes into your mind? Fast ga. Religion, first word in your mind. God? Yes or no, please? Essentially, the word comes is the creator of all this universe. That is the first idea that comes to your mind. God. Problem is not with God. Problem is not with religion. But the problem is with some people who utilize God name for their benefits to manipulate the minds of people. Can religion be easily used as a tool to manipulate people's mind? In ancient India classes, I've given some examples, 1 or 2 examples for your memory, recollection, and for new batch I will give. This is one emotion we all have. We don't accept it, okay? But that is one thing that keeps driving all of us. Yes or no, please? We are all somewhere influenced by fear in our hearts. Yes or no, please? Main fear of what? Fear of what, Listen. Correct, Nana? Death. Fear of pain. Fear of death. Automatically, it is inherent in human beings. Animals also are afraid.
Yes.
Animals కూడా భయపడతాయా?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes. You can frighten a dog. You can frighten a lion also. Yes, please. Human beings also have this emotion called fear. That is what these people will exploit. ఎవరు? Some people called వీళ్ళు ఉంటారండి. They are the most dangerous people in any society, any religion. They are the ones who actually do. In ancient India, I talked about how Brahmins used to manipulate the minds of Hindus. Yes or no, please? A Brahmin comes when he comes to do a puja. ఇప్పుడు రీసెంట్గా పూజలు అయినాయి కదండి. That Ganesh and that Durga Mata puja. There was in our own apartment, we had one Ganesh idol. It was and different flat members get their puja done on different day, if you have an idea. I and my wife went and sit on the pandal, and that Brahmin ఉన్నాడు అక్కడ. He is chanting mantras. నాకేం అర్థమైతలేదు. మధ్యలో మామ అనమంటాడు అంతే. ఓకే మామ, ఏంట్రా బాబు నీ బాధ? వాట్ ఆర్ యూ డూయింగ్ హియర్? Will he explain to you? No, they will not explain. That is the problem. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పబ్బా, గాడ్తో నా ప్రాబ్లం. డూ ఐ హ్యావ్ అ ప్రాబ్లం విత్ ద గణేష్ ఐడల్ దేర్? ఐ హ్యావ్ అ ప్రాబ్లం విత్ దట్ మ్యాన్. Because he is doing some mantras without even explaining me what should I do. అంటాడు అగరబత్తి తీసుకో అంటాడు. ఓకే, అగరబత్తులు తీసుకుంటా. ఆరతి అంటాడు. ఆరతి. టేక్ దిస్ ఫ్లవర్. ఓకే సార్. నా డిప్ ఇట్ ఇన్ వాటర్. ఓకే సార్. నా పుట్ సమ్ కుంకుమ. దెన్ అక్కడ చేస్తా అవన్నీ. ఐ విల్ డూ. ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ అ ప్రాబ్లం. బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ టెల్ మీ, వై ఆర్ యూ ఆస్కింగ్ మీ టు డూ దోస్ థింగ్స్? ప్లీజ్ నౌ అగైన్ నా మీద కోపం పెట్టుకోవద్దు. డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ యాంగర్ ఆన్ మీ. I don't have any problem with religion. I myself believe in God. I'm a strict theist. Okay, na? Okay, I'm not an atheist. I was an atheist, by the way, but became a theist. కొన్నిసార్లు పడతాయి దెబ్బ లైఫ్లో. Things will change. Life change అవుతుందండి, అవుతుంది. I am attacking the religious authorities. I am not attacking, dear people, I am not attacking your religion. I am not attacking your God. I am attacking those people who misuse religion and make a fool out of us. Yes or no, please? ఇప్పుడు వాడు ఉంటాడు, ఆ ప్రీస్ట్ ఉంటాడు. Why is he doing? What is he doing? అంటే they will not tell me anything. That's the problem there. I don't have a problem with the God's idol and all these things. Whatever he said, don't you think 1 hour I did all those things? I did all those. అన్ని మళ్ళీ పోయిందా? మీ క్లాస్కి వస్తే ఇదే అవుతుంది. మళ్ళీ వచ్చిన వాయిస్ and audible, fluctuation వచ్చిందా మధ్యలో? Did you feel that there was a fluctuation? I felt at least. Okay, if you have a problem, let me know. Next one, Anna. General examples are given in ancient India. 1 or 2 I will bring it here also. ఇది ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది చూడండి, ఫియర్ అనేది. I give this classic example because, and don't try this, okay? I told you already. You have a conflict on the road. గుర్తొస్తుందా మీకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్? యూ హ్యావ్ అ ఫైట్ విత్ సమ్వన్ ఆన్ ద రోడ్. చిన్న యాక్సిడెంట్ అయిందబ్బా. దట్ గై కమ్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ హిస్ కార్ ఆర్ బైక్ అండ్ హీ స్టార్ట్స్ స్కోల్డింగ్ యూ లైక్ ఎనీథింగ్. ఏ క్యా రే తూ అని స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాడు వాడు. తుమ్ వాట్ షుడ్ యూ డూ? లిసన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. అర్థమైంది కదా? వాట్ షుడ్ యూ డూ? అని చెప్పి వెళ్ళిపో. గివ్ హిమ్ అ వెరీ సీరియస్ లుక్ ఇన్ టు హిస్ ఐస్. తెరి ఖాన్దాన్ పూరి ఖతం హో జాయేగి. బాయ్ బాయ్ అని చెప్పి వెళ్ళిపోను. ఏమైతే చెప్పు, వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్? ఏం కాదు అక్కడ యాక్టింగ్ చేసిన అక్కడ. ఐ హావ్ సింప్లీ డన్ సమ్ గుడ్ పీస్ ఆఫ్ యాక్టింగ్ అంతే. ఏమవుతుంది వాడి మైండ్లో ఏమైతే చెప్పు నాకు. అది స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. దాన్ని వాడతారు ఈ రిలీజియస్ అథారిటీస్. That is what they will misuse. That is the problem with religion. అర్థమైందన్న బాధ. So you will not find this in the textbooks. Okay, this comes out of personal experiences. Okay, I say నాకు మస్తు ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లేని. People tortured me a lot, particularly with the name of God. Man becomes afraid, na God anangane. Yes or no, please? Almighty God, at some time you and I will die. What will happen to your life? Where will you go? అర్థమైందండి? That is how they tend to manipulate your mind. ఇది ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇస్తానన్నా. అంటే even if I scold that man with all the good words I know in the language, he is not going to feel afraid. But చూ మంత్రాన్ని వెళ్ళిపోయినాను అనుకో, అవుట్వర్డ్ మైండ్లో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. సపోజ్ that day or the next day, in a few days, something happened to him or his family members. ఏమైతే చెప్పు. No, even if I did acting only, I did not curse him at all. Nanu cheyyoddu itlantivanni, okay na? Don't do all these things just for your understanding, because it's not a good thing. Okay, that's manipulation. If you do that, you are manipulating. I hope you understood that. And I'm just trying to tell you how manipulation is done, not for you to get inspired and to you to manipulate it, okay? Did I do anything to that guy? Really speaking? Who is destroying himself or herself? That guy. That fear inside him. Avuna? Ardhamavutunda andi? Yes. Same thing again, another example. Are you able to recollect these examples? Suppose you want to torture some person, take some 4 or 5 lemon, nimmakai limbu, put some cuts on it, okay? Some mirchi, green chilies, some kumkuma and some paspu, turmeric and vermilion, okay? Throw in front of someone's house. You can see all sorts of drama. ఆ రోజు యాక్సిడెంట్ అయిందనుకో వాడికి కన్ఫర్మ్ ఏం తెలుసా, బ్లాక్ మ్యాజిక్, చేతబడి. వినరా ఇవన్నీ? కాలా జాదు. యునో హూ ఆర్ ద మెయిన్ పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ ద క్లయింట్స్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ బాబాస్? Whichever Baba, or Christian Baba, Muslim Baba, Hindu Baba, it doesn't matter to me. All these Babas and priests, who are the greatest clients of these people? Not the poor people, rich people. They are so attached with life. They want to enjoy their life. Yes, please. Anything wrong happens, they're afraid. Yes, actually, they'll put crores and crores of rupees for religion. If you ask them to pay tax, they'll jump. They'll run away. But if you, without asking, will they pay to these religious authorities? Yes or no, please? Do people do all these things? Yes. Please tell me that what is the single emotion that is going on in their minds? Fear, fear, fear. ఇప్పుడు ఇంతమంది క్లాస్లో కూర్చున్నా మీకేం ఫియర్ ఉండదబ్బా. రాత్రి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, నంచి పడుకుంటావు, సంథింగ్ తన సౌండ్ వచ్చింది, అప్పుడు తెలుస్తుంది నీకు ఫియర్ అంటే ఏందా. అంతే, ఇట్స్ న్యాచురల్. ఎవ్రీ వన్ హెస్ ఫెల్ట్ ఆల్ దీస్ ఎమోషన్స్. Yes, please. That is is fear natural? Is fear natural in every one of us? Problem is, fear is not problem, is no problem with fear. Fear is natural. Everyone feels afraid at some point or time in life. But to take advantage of that fear and manipulate your mind is what is the problem with religion. And in fact, the problem is not with religion as much as with the religious authorities who are misusing this sentiment. Yes or no, please? Now, a few more, 1 or 2 more points, and then I'll make you right. Start making right. And beautiful concepts and the facts level. You don't need to remember anything. You should enjoy. Religious authorities, these priests, they generally tell you something that life on earth, earthly life is waste antadu. Waste idantha enduku? At some point of time, you, I, everyone has to die. What will you take? Did you bring anything into this world? No. So while going away also, you cannot take anything. So why should you really be so concerned about earthly life angels? Will a concept next level into the. You are just a visitor to this earth. This is a tour. And after the tour, again you will go back to that original destination from where you came. So don't be attached to earthly life and antadu. This is one more concept of religion, because of which things are going to change a lot. You see, when a person really believes too much in that religious ideology that earthly life is waste, because earthly life is temporary, and at some point of time we all die, we don't take anything back to from where we came and all, we are just a visitor, this is not my destination, final destination kaadu annappudu. Do you think people who are having such kind of a religious ideology by which they consider earthly life as less important, temporary, will these people make efforts to improve earthly life? Did you get my point? Those people who consider earthly life as waste, temporary, okay, will such people make improvements in earthly life, or their concentration is more on afterlife? Afterlife, okay. You might have heard these words. అంటే ఏదో ఒక వరల్డ్ ఉంది. ఓకే, ఐ హోప్ యు ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ దిస్ అదర్ వరల్డ్. విన్నారు ఎప్పుడన్నా పరలోకము? ఎస్ ప్లీజ్, దట్స్ హౌ ఇట్ కమ్స్. పరలోకము, అదర్ వరల్డ్. ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ ఆస్క్ హిందూ, a Buddhist or a Jain, you know what they say after death, what will happen? Old batch students, moksha anta simple ga raadabba. Old batch students, please tell me, according to Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, what will happen after you die? Rebirth ante, mar as simple as that. That is the concept in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. What is the concept in Judaism, Islam, Christianity? You know, there is only one birth. After you die, either you go to hell or you go to heaven. Now, no one knows whether you are going to reborn or you are going to go to hell or heaven. But is these things are influencing the people's minds or no, please? Yes or no? Why? You know, from childhood we are taught these things. Because we are told these from childhood, these things, which is people who are extremely religious, they give importance to this or this. Extremely religious minded people give more importance to these things or this one, afterlife and other world. Now that's the reason, if you see, whenever you see this man Buddha never believed in a god, okay, but still he did not like earthly life. Whenever you see an image of Buddha, how do you find Buddha? Meditation kada, meditation good or bad? Malla diplomatic answer. మెడిటేషన్ మంచిదా చెడ్డదా? అచ్చా హై బురా హై మెడిటేషన్? మంచిదా. డిప్లొమాటిక్ ఆన్సర్. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ గుడ్ ఇన్ సర్టన్ లిమిట్స్. 24/7 మెడిటేషన్ చేస్తా అంటే కూడా తప్పే. ఫర్ సమ్ టైమ్ ఇఫ్ యూ మెడిటేట్, ఇస్ ఇట్ గుడ్? Yes please. But again 24/7 I'll be like just Buddha and sit on meditating and anta. Obviously other people will come and loot you. Yes please. Yes or no? Now tell me, when we see Buddha's image, what is this man trying to do? Think that in a meditation lo unnadabba. You think he's a psychotic person who is simply lost in some illusion, or is he trying to get a control over his mind? He is actually doing some serious work internally on his mind, okay? But will such people make new scientific discoveries and inventions and technological developments? Will such people who are, their focus is not on external world, their focus is more on internal, will such people come out with great scientific technological developments and inventions and discoveries? No please. Who will come with new discoveries? People who keep observing nature. Yes or no? Nature observe chestu, and then you will do some experiments. You will understand some things. You will try and error. You will trial, error. Then probably you can make some inventions and discoveries in life. Yes or no? I'll just show you some video. Probably you will understand that better from there. Because now we are, our education system is so bad. We don't visualize. We don't understand much. Hey, Navakantra. But I'll just show a picture with a student, Anna. First, let me tell you what this picture is about. The title of this video is, Nana, clear kanabadunda? Man's early attempts at flight. Today we are seeing aeroplanes. Aeroplanes janalu. Yes or no? See how the Europeans struggled to come with these things. Skating అవి వేసుకొని వీడు Are you able to understand why am I showing this video to you all? Why? స్ట్రగుల్ ఇట్లా కూర్చుంటే ఎంతసేపు ఏమొస్తుంది నీకు? ఎన్లైటన్మెంట్ వస్తుందేమో, అంతే కదా. నథింగ్, యూ విల్ నెవర్ మేక్ సైంటిఫిక్ చెప్పాలి discoveries and inventions. When you struggle like this, eventually you are going to do that. When is it? మరి అన్ని అటెంప్ట్స్ చేస్తే ఈరోజు నీకు వెళ్ళిపోతుంది ఏరోప్లేన్. ఆ ఏరోప్లేన్ సడన్గా నీకు ఆకాశంలో వచ్చిందా? నీ గాడ్ గేవ్ యూ, ఓకే యూరోపియన్స్ టేక్ దిస్ ఏరోప్లేన్ అని లేదే. అంత స్ట్రగుల్ చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. When will this happen? When you have too much importance in religion or in earthly life? Earthly life is tight. Are you able to understand what am I slowly bringing you people towards? Yes, please. చూడండి వీడు చూడు. దేవుడా, వాడే బెటర్, వాడు స్కేటింగ్ కూడా బెటర్. ఆడు ఉరుకుతున్నాడు వీడైతే. ఇండియన్సా వీళ్ళంతా? బాబా బుద్ధిస్ట్లా, హిందూసా, ముస్లిమ్సా? ఇలా టాలెంటే వేరే, నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ మనలో. అబ్బా, now see, just imagine, don't you think so many people would have died in these attempts? అవునా? Without that pain no one will get gain. మన ఇండియన్ మెంటాలిటీ, I told you previously, no pain full gain. మనం fine, at least you got an idea what I wanted to show, please. Yes, please. That is the point there. We want everything served on the plate. No pain, full gain. But they know that no pain, no gain. Unko question is vinandi. You all heard about this man. One man, one woman, can they change the world history?
Yes.
One person, can they, if they want, can they change the world's history? One such man was this guy. What is so great about this man? He found out a sea route to India from Europe. Hey, entire world history class itlane untadi. No facts, nothing. Simply story. Full enlightenment వస్తుంది నీకు. వీడినా వాస్కోడి గామా వాడు. లుక్ అట్ దిస్. పోర్చుగల్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది చిన్న, ఓకేనా? మెడిటరేనియన్ సీ, ఆఫ్రికా, ఇండియా. సో దిస్ and again went back. ఈజీగా చెప్పా? ఈజీగా. ఓకే, ఐ విల్ గివ్ యూ a small deal. Okay, I'll give you 10 crores of money. The scene లేదు, బట్ just చెప్తాను. 10 crores ఇస్తా. Will you want to go on a ship in this journey with, you understand, these things, those ships in 1498 he came to India. They were not steel ships as you have today. They were wooden ships. Manchiga, you know, wooden ships. There were no steam engines to drive that ship. Sail, Elsa, that big piece of cloth, you catch the wind direction and you go. Okay, 10 crores is వెళ్తావా? ఎందుకు? నేనైతే సచిన పోను. ఎందుకు? Tell me, what is that emotion that is driving your mind? భయం, 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 భయం. పిరికిగాలం ఇండియన్స్. That is why you are studying for civil services. Don't tell you are coming here for service of the country. మంచిగా ఉండదు. అబద్ధాలు ఆడద్దు నాతోటి. Why are you preparing for civils? చెప్పు, రియలిస్టిక్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పు. పవర్. ఇంకా నిజంగా చెప్పాలా? పవర్, మనీ, సర్వీస్ ఏది కాదు. యూ అండ్ ఐ ఆర్ ఆల్ timid people. పిరికి, డర్పోక్. Yes, please. Including me, Anagana, including I know, because I was student, I'm not teaching students also. Real thing is, we don't have a spirit for adventure. Yes or no, please? If you want to join army, can't you join army? So, which is great service, Rana? IAS, army? Army, anta nenu. But IAS and the boys, you'll sit happily, sign some files and take some money here and there, and then, oh, I am IAS. What are called IAS? అయితే నువ్వు ఐఏఎస్ అయితే నేనేం చేయాలరా? నేను పెద్ద గొప్పనా ఐఏఎస్ అయితే? మోడీ పెద్ద గొప్పనా? హీఈస్ ఆల్సో హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్, నాట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే. ఐ రెస్పెక్ట్ హిమ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ దిస్ కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్స్. ఐ రెస్పెక్ట్ ఎవ్రీ వన్. బట్ అగైన్, దట్ డజంట్ మీన్ దట్ యూ ఆర్ ద సూపర్ పవర్. If you're seeing this, okay, why do we come on ante? Essential problem is with us is fear. Vasco da Gama came. Just imagine in that ship travels, don't you think many ships that accompanied him would have got crashed and sunk in that ocean? Yes or no, please? Before Vasco da Gama, many people would have attempted, they would also died. Yes, please. But you and I are not ready to do that. ఎందుకని చెప్పాను కదండి, నాకు ఆ ఫీలింగ్ లేదు అసలు. And the problem is not with you and me. The problem is with the education system. Education system is such a way that you are just told to mug up some things, go and dump it in the exam, get good marks, and on the basis of that marks, you will get some jobs. After that, you get some marriage, dowries, children, and die. This average Indian mentality. Avuna kada? Yes, please. That is how we are running. Even I, including me, I am saying, not about you only. Everyone is going on in this direction. Imagine yourself, these people, on this ocean, see his route he's going through. Just imagine what kind of waves and what kind of winds will be battering and banging the ship and the sails. Yes or no? Every moment you're catching your life in your hand and going. One strong wave, is it sufficient to overthrow your ship, please? Yes or no? But still these people persisted. When you make such efforts, will you get some gain or no, please? That's why these people are advanced. Are you able to understand why am I telling European history is world history? Because these were the people who took that pain, and that's the reason why these people are dominating today. ఒక్కసారి విజువలైజ్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ ఆన్ ద సీ. నైట్ పూట ఎట్లుంటుంది ఇమాజిన్ చేసుకో. మార్నింగే భయంకరంగా ఉంటుందప్పా, నైట్లా చెప్పు. You know that when you go on that ships like that, today if you cruise ships ఉంటాయి కదండి, don't you think that all facilities of bed, the food అన్నీ ఉంటాయి ఇప్పుడు? ఆ టైంలో ఏం లేవు మరి. You know that there is something called sea diseases ఉంటాయి కదా. Too much of moisture all around you, your skin starts itching, okay, your eyes will become red. All these things they suffered, because they suffered, they prospered. We enjoyed, so we are suffering now. Is that the moral of the story in a way? Yes or no, please? So please tell me, did Europeans take that pain? Did they get that gain? Yes, please. Now why we did not do that? Why? Chapali, if you try to understand and tell me something. Self-sufficient inkanana, are we more ardhamainda? What did Buddha say, get rid of this cycle of birth, death, rebirth, moksha, nirvana. At least old batch students, at least new batch వాళ్ళకి ఏం లేదన్నా. Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism. In Hinduism there is a concept called moksha. What is moksha? Liberation. Liberation for what? From what? Liberation of whom? From what? They consider earthly life as a burden. They don't want to be in this cycle of birth, death, rebirth. According to Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, we are all trapped in this earthly life with desires and desires and desires. And because we have desires, after we die, we are again reborn. And finally, what is the goal of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism? Chapal Fastika. Break this cycle and attain moksha. In Buddhism, it's called nirvana. In Jainism, it's called kaivalya. In Hinduism, it's called moksha. Will such kind of religious ideologies give rise to great earthly life developments or less? Less. It's not that there were not any scientific and technological inventions in India. We did have Aryabhatta and all these people, some great people lived in this country. But problem was education was limited only to few sections. Yes or no, please? And that's the reason many of us giving too much of importance to afterlife, religion, otherworld, God and all these things. We neglected the development of earthly life, because of which scientifically and technologically India became backward compared to Europe. Can I say that, please? What is that, can I say? Is it the technological advancement of Europe? Is that technological advancement giving it the power to dominate the world? Is it the technological advancement of Europe the main source of their power to dominate the rest of the world? Where did they get this technology from then? Because of this, they are dominating the rest of the world. Where did they get this technology? That is my question to you all. It means in Europe, there was a time in the medieval times of Europe, even there in Europe, the religious influence was very much high in the minds of the European people. But because of some reasons, you will study later on what happened to the influence of religion, started reducing. And when influence of religion will start reducing, can I say, instead of putting too much belief in God, we believe in the capacity of humans. Ipudu, right now we are there in the class. If you have any biological, physical problem, where will you run? Church ki veltava, temple ki veltava, masjid ki veltava, edbotu, hospital ki enduku. పో మరి నీ గుడికి పో, మస్జిద్కి పో, చర్చికి పోయి ప్రేయర్స్ చేసుకోపోయి. హార్ట్ అటాక్ వచ్చింది నాకు ఏం చేస్తావు? తీసుకుపోతావు, నన్ను మస్జిద్ తీసుకుపోతావా, చర్చికి తీసుకుపోతావా, మందిరం తీసుకుపోతావా, ఏడు తీసుకుపోతావు, హాస్పిటల్ ఎందుకు? మరి తప్పన్నా. Finally, humans only have to take care of each of us. Yes, please. Again, I told you, ముందుగా చెప్పిన కోపం పెట్టుకోద్దు నా మీదనే. Why? I am not against religion. I myself believe in God చెప్తున్నా. But still, blind belief is not correct. Too much of bending to religious authorities is what makes religion a real problem. Okay. So here, what is essentially happening when the influence of religion is reducing in the mind of Europeans? They will believe in whose capacity? Human capacity. Will these people believe? Will they have interest in earthly life? Afterlife or earthly life? Earthly life, they will have more interest. Will such people are bound to make some scientific and technological advancements and developments? And this change in that mindset is called modernity. Why did I tell all this story for linking up? Yes, please. Tell me. A small question to you all. What is the criteria on the basis of which you call a particular person as a modern or a pre-modern person? ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళుంటారు పెద్ద పెద్ద హీరోలు, సెలబ్రిటీస్, వీళ్ళందరూ ఉన్నారు. అబ్బా మోడర్నా? విల్ గో టు బంజారా హిల్స్, పోదాం, బెంగళూరు పోదాం, నైట్ లైఫ్. We will take all that software employees. Modern? Modern? No place. Well, Western all. But they think they are modern. But they are actually not modern. Yeah? They are Western. Because modernity is not in the dress you wear. Modernity is not in the car you roam around. Modernity is not in the language you speak. Modernity is not in the house you stay, how big house you stay. Yes or no, please? Modernity is what? Way of thinking. Okay, don't frighten me, okay? Am I modern? రెండు మాడ్యూల్స్ చూసిరా నావి. ఏన్షియంట్ ఇండియా, మెడివల్ ఇండియా. Modern person in thinking pattern or no place. I may not look Western very much, okay? Compared to a village person, I will look more Western. But you go and throw me in the Major Isles, they will consider me as backward. Hey, this guy, waste gadidu. Ante mal obviously enduku nenu anta pedda villa batalu veskomanam. Yes, please. Modernity is a state of mind, a way of thinking. Can I say so, please? Where the belief is more not in God's capacity, but in human capacity. The interest is not in afterlife, but in earthly life. Will such people become more innovative and creative in life? Now think and tell me, if you have to be a modern person, do you have to become atheist? Think and tell. No need. You can still believe in God and call yourself as modern. Why? I'll tell you an example. Einstein, one of the greatest scientists ever produced. Yes or no? Einstein. Einstein believed in God. Namutada Einstein? Yes, please. Einstein used to believe in the existence of God. Although he is one of the greatest scientist ever produced by us, humanity. Yes, please. But still that person believes in God. Okay. Now, so to become modern person doesn't mean that you become atheist. So can I say, most of us, okay, are pre-modern people living in modern times. You are all, I'm including even the old batch also, okay? Because you have just now started the process of modernization. Once you come to civil services, modernization starts in your mind, okay? Before beginning civil services, for me, 2009, even I was also of a pre-modern mindset. Okay. Now again listen to my question. Can I say most of the people here around in the country and other parts of the world also, we are living in modern times, but we don't have a modern mindset as such. Yes or no, please? At least when you come to civils and start studying all these things, what is happening, You are making steps towards modernization, and you will realize that what the world is undergoing is not modernization, it is foolish westernization. And koncham understanding vastundana avuna. Old batch students, if you remember this statement which I made for old batch, okay, new batch, again whenever I make this statement, don't worry that you are missing out something. Everything will be done later on. Buddha was a modern man in ancient times అని చెప్పిన మీకు గుర్తుందా? Buddha was a modern man in ancient times. You are what? Ancient people living in modern times. Now you're okay, you've started your journey, you're coming out of it. I came out of it because I prepared my civil service sincerely. I became a teacher, so I understand, okay, this is how things go on. Okay. So then, most of us are living in modern times, but with a pre-modern mindset. But people like Buddha and all these people, they were living in ancient times, but with a modern mindset. So modernity is not associated, is not an external thing. Can you buy modernity from anywhere? ఉంటుంది ఎక్కడ దొరుకుతుందా modernity? ఉండదు. ఏంటి ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది modernity? Way of thinking. Fine. I want you people to write down some points now. I told you that all these points which I discussed about religion now, when I'll make you write, there is a particular context. There I will make you write those points. Right now we are going to define modernity and modernization. First, we are writing a definition for modernity. Please go ahead. Modernity refers to the particular way of thinking, characterized by, please write down like this, capital H and capital R. I have given you the basic essence of these two terms, but I did not discuss them. What we will do now is, we will write the definitions of these two terms, and then you will see, while writing itself, try to understand and make some sense out of it. Go ahead. Next line is about humanism. Humanism refers to, understand and write, I have not yet explained it, but you know the essence of it. Humanism refers to a philosophical stance Okay. Rajesh, I'll address your doubts towards the end of the class, because slightly there, again, unnecessarily, it will make a deviation. Okay. Fine. First, you write down. Humanism refers to a philosophical stance that emphasizes, understand and write, that emphasizes human capacity, to bring, a positive change in their lives. Human capacity to bring a positive change in their lives through their own efforts. Instead of blindly depending upon the grace, G-R-A-C-E, instead of blindly depending upon the grace of a supernatural power like God. Instead of depending upon the grace of a supernatural power like God. I want you people to read that and understand it for yourself once. Humanism. Got it? ఇప్పుడు కోవిడ్ వచ్చిందన్న మధ్యలో. కోవిడ్ వచ్చిందా? Which God came and gave you the vaccine? చెప్పు నాకు. చెప్పబ్బా. ఏ దేవుడు వచ్చిండు, దేవుడు రాడు, దేవుడు. You will have to finally dependent on whom you know? Humans. Yes, please. Yes or no? Yes. We have so many diseases around us. Did human efforts come out with many vaccines and cure these diseases? Yes or no? Yes, many problems have been solved. So who is solving all these problems? It's not really any God as such, but then finally it is human capacity, and that's why you see this ism is called as what? Humanism. Now you might have heard many isms in life. Capitalism, socialism, communism, imperialism, colonialism, nationalism, fascism. Oh, so many isms will be there. But can I say this is the mother of all the isms? But unless and until you believe in your own capacity to do things, you are really not going to become a modern person. So can I say one of the first feature of a modern person should be having faith in what? Human capacity to bring a change in their own lives through whose efforts? Their own efforts. Did Buddha believe in any God will come and give me salvation? Or did Buddha believe in his own efforts? Old batch students చెప్పాలి, own efforts. Yes or no, please? That's why we called Buddha as what? Modern man in ancient times. So any person who believes in their own capacity, instead of blindly believing in the grace of a supernatural power, one such feature will be a part of modern thinking. Then I've used another word called rationalism. Anyone can tell me what is the meaning of rationalism? Logical thinking. And you try to question everything and you will believe anything only if you have a logic, proof or evidence or some kind of a reason. Without that you tend not to believe that. Did Buddha say to his students in those times that believe whatever I say blindly? Will Buddha tell people, hey, whatever I say you should accept it? Under Buddha? Did Buddha question everything? You should not believe anything just because I told it. You should believe it only when you listen to it. You think it is logically justified, then you can believe it. But you should not believe it just because Buddha said. Yes or no, please? So can I say that will be something called as rationalism? Please tell me, will this be another thinking pattern very much essential for a person to be called as a modern? Did you understand what I'm trying to say? So if you are humanistic and rationalistic, can I say you are a modern person then? Yes. Does it require you to deny the existence of God? No. Does it need you to become an atheist? No, please. Do you need to go and start abusing God? No. What you need to do is stop believing in the religious authorities blindly. There is a lot of difference between these two words. Many people don't understand that. Yes or no, please? Which one is more internal connection, emotional connection with God? This is all external show off that is done. Yes or no, please? Yes. Otherwise, that's the reason we criticize more religion, not as much as spirituality. Write down one line about rationalism. Rationalism refers to the view that everything must be questioned. Everything must be questioned, and that nothing must be accepted, and that nothing must be accepted without reason, logic, proof or evidence. Fine. That is modernity for you all. Take the next side heading, modernization. Small question, think and tell. Am I calling Buddha because he did not believe in God as modern? Am I calling Buddha as modern because he did not believe in God? No, please. I am calling him modern because he believes in human capacity and their own efforts, and he is also very rationalistic. That's why we are calling him as a modern man. Modernization. Now can I say modernization, you only told me it's a process, right? Will an entire society become modernized in one day? Within a society, which sections do you think will become modern initially? Village people or city people? Generally, city. Slowly these people should do what? They should spread this modern thoughts to other people, and gradually over a period of time you'll expect that people will become modernized. So can I say it's a gradual process that happens then? Yes, please, write down. Modernization refers to, understand and write, modernization refers to the psychological and social process. Modernization refers to the psychological and social process by which a pre-modern society, based on traditional values and institutions, pre-modern society based on traditional values and institutions, gradually transforms into a modern society, based on modern values like humanism and rationalism. Based on modern values like humanism and rationalism. Fine. Next point. We are summarizing all these points into one more para. Next line, please write down. That is the definition for modernization. We are trying to put it in a different words, that's all. Next line. In short, understand and write. Modernization refers to the process that leads to a reduction in the influence of Chaptara. Yes, please. Religion, please write down. Influence of religion, inside bracket you're writing God, afterlife and other world. Please write down, please. Raskundana. Reduction in the influence of religion. And inside brackets you're writing God, afterlife and other world, bracket close. On the human mind, bracket close, on the human mind, and also to an increase in the faith on human capacity, and an interest in earthly life. Increase in faith on human capacity and an interest in earthly life. Same points, Nana. Just I'm putting it in easier words for you to understand. If you go home and revise that and visualize these things in your mind, everything will become clear. Okay. Now you tell me. Think and tell. Economically, politically, socially, are the Western countries more advanced and developed than us? Yes, please. What is the root cause for this? Economically, politically, socially, the Western countries are more better than us. What is the root cause for that? Is it not technological development that they are more advanced than us? Where did they get the technology from? Why did they only get, why did we not get? What has changed, you know? Way of thinking change. Oh, because of this, can I say all these will change? Unless and until their way of thinking changed, Europeans would never become modernized. Without modernization, they will not become economically, politically, socially so developed. If you are able to understand this, okay? Write on the next line fastly, please. ఫస్ట్ ఏం కావాలంటే వే ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్ చేంజ్ కావాలి. వై నా ఇప్పుడు యూ మైట్ హావ్ హర్డ్, నాకు నవ్వు వస్తుంది, మోడీ కీప్స్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ వికసిత్ భారత్ అని. అట్లా చూస్తారు కదా, తెలియదా? ఏంటి వికసిత్ భారత్ అంటే ఏంటి చెప్పు? వికసిత్ భారత్ అంటే ఏంటబ్బా? వాట్ యూ ట్రాన్స్లేట్ ఇన్ టు ఇంగ్లీష్? డెవలప్డ్ ఇండియా అంతేనా వికసిత్ భారత్ అని అంటే? అదేనా మీనింగ్? హౌ విల్ యూ డెవలప్? బై బిల్డింగ్ న్యూ రైల్వేస్, by building more bullet trains. Is that called modernization really? Please tell me. Then Viksit Bharat, what is the first change which should change will become the seed for the future development of India? Chepnaku way of thinking a change ga undu, education system change kaakunda nu kotta roadlu kadta avanni ista ante emaitadi? What will happen here? Then nothing. These are all simply external things of development. They are not internally, they are not coming from internally. You tell me, if we give correct education system that will give a confidence for people that hey, you don't believe in gods blindly, leave these religious authorities and all these things, you believe in your own human capacity and think rationally. If these kind of education system we will give to villages of India, don't you think we will get some great scientists from this country? Then you need not get bullet trains from outside. మనమే చేస్తాము bullet trains. అర్థమవుతుందండి వాట్ ఐమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు సే? సో కంట్రీ విల్ డెవలప్. ఫస్ట్ కావాలంటే ఏం కావాలి చెప్పండి? అది నీకు వే ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్ చేంజ్ కావాలి. అది కావాలంటే యూ షుడ్ ఫస్ట్ చేంజ్ యువర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్. స్లోలీ దెన్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ విల్ చేంజ్. అంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి. దట్స్ వై ఐ లేవ్ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఫర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. బికాస్ వన్స్ యూ చేంజ్ యువర్ వే ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్, లైఫ్ విల్ చేంజ్. ద వే యూ సీ వరల్డ్, యూ విల్ గెట్ సమ్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అండ్ దట్ విల్ గివ్ యూ అ బూస్ట్ ఫర్ యువర్ కంట్రీ. You know, many a times, let me tell this one point because that is coming to my mind and then I'll go back again. Many a times as a teacher, Nana, seeing things from this side. A few years ago, I was there also, like you, sitting there and listening to classes. Ee way of thinking lo, just to you only think. I have seen from this side of the board that many students come from cities and villages. Diverse backgrounds unnaru kadandi. Yes or no? Most of the city educated students are dumb. Yes, please. ఏమంటే తెలుసా, దీస్ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ నాలెడ్జ్. ఏదో నాలుగు బట్టి కొట్టి వస్తారంట. డోంట్ యూ థింక్ దెర్ ఆర్ మెనీ టాలెంటెడ్ పీపుల్ ఇన్ ద విలేజెస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కంట్రీ? తెలుసా? హ్యావ్ యూ ఎవర్ సీన్ సమ్ వీడియోస్ ఇన్ ద యూట్యూబ్ వేర్ విలేజర్స్ కీప్ కమింగ్ అప్ విత్ సమ్ ఇన్వెన్షన్స్? చూసి ఎప్పుడైనా లైఫ్లో ఇట్లాంటివి చూడరు. యూట్యూబ్లో అన్ని పాటలు సినిమాలే కదా. ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. ఇన్ యూట్యూబ్స్ డూ యూ ఫైండ్ మెనీ క్రియేటివ్ విలేజ్ పీపుల్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియా? ఉన్నారా లేరా? ఉంటారా? ఎస్ ప్లీజ్. ఇఫ్ యూ గివ్ దమ్ కరెక్ట్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, డూ యూ థింక్ దే విల్ ఈజీలీ ఓవర్టేక్ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ? మీరు పనికిరారు, నేను పనికిరాను. దెర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ బ్రిలియంట్ మైండ్స్ హూస్ పొటెన్షియల్ ఈస్ లైంగ్ డౌన్ వేస్ట్ దేర్. అండ్ నువ్వు బుల్లెట్ ట్రైన్ వేసేస్తే వికసిత్ భారత్ వస్తుందా? రాదు. యూ కెన్ గివ్ బెటర్ సర్వీసెస్ నన్ను గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. బట్ స్టిల్ ఫస్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఈస్ చెప్పాలి వే ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్. హౌ విల్ యూ చేంజ్ వే ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్ ఆఫ్ అ పీపుల్? Education system. Give them the best education system of this world. Then you will see that India will easily become developed. If not by 2047, definitely by 2097. Because the potential of this country, you know. ఇప్పుడు వీడు ఉంటాడు నన్ను ఎవడు సుందర్ పిచాయ్ అంటావు. ఏంటంటే సుందర్ పిచాయ్ చెప్పాలా? సుందర్ పిచాయ్, గూగుల్, ఆల్ఫాబెట్, ఈయన పేరు సత్య నడెల్లా. అంటే the world's technological companies are being headed by Indians. Is it sufficient to tell you that Indians have so much of potential? సరిపోయిందా? సత్యనారాయణ ఇంకా ఇఫ్ యు సీ నో there are so many other world institutions that are in the hands of Indians. అంటే Indians have so much of potential, but unfortunately there is no system that is tapping this potential. And that's where you'll have to change and until slowly, it will happen slowly. Nothing is going to work in one fine day and you'll think that India is going to become a developed country, a modern country. And no, please tell me now, if India has to become a developed country, should India first become a modern country? But no, inko question, I'll ask same thing in a different way. Will a country become economically developed first and then psychologically modernized? Or is it psychological modernization that leads to economic development? Saudi Arabia country undi. Waste adi enduku? Waste. Economically are they more developed than India? Yes or no? But they psychologically still pre-modern mindset. Why? Do they give religious freedom to other people? Do they give political freedom? Is China also an economically developed country compared to India? Manak India compare China is economically more developed. They have better infrastructure than us and all these things. Their standard of life is higher. Their average income per head, per capita income is more than Indians. But what you don't have in China, they are atheists. The largest number of atheists in the world are in which country, China. Communists are atheists. All communists are essentially atheists. Now, in China, will you have political freedom? Single party. Can you go and say anything against that Jinping? Why? Next day they'll eliminate you. 1 or 2 warnings. Third warning, you will not be there. Out. Can you criticize Modi? Can you criticize Modi?
Yes.
Go road mein bhai arupo. No one will say anything to you. You can shout against Modi. Can you shout against Revant Reddy? Yes. Can you criticize Congress? Can you criticize BJP? Can you criticize any party in this country? Now people are criticizing you judiciary also. Yes, please. Media that is the amount of freedom we enjoy in this country. India may be economically not so developed as Saudi Arabia and China, but we are politically, compared to China and Saudi Arabia, are we far better? Yes or no? Psychologically, do we have greater freedom? Religious freedom is more here in this country? Yes or no? But still, only thing that is lacking is our way of thinking change. If that will spread to the villages, then you will see Einsteins, Newtons, all these people, Aryabhattas, again coming up in this country. Until that time, your dream of Viksit Bharat will remain a dream only, if you understood what I am trying to say. Next line, fast. Modernization, understand and write. Modernization leads to a change. Modernization leads to a change in the way of thinking of a society. Modernization leads to a change in the way of thinking of a society. Which in turn brings changes in all other aspects of life. Which in turn brings changes in all other aspects of life. I'll draw a small chart kind of a thing. Just 1 second, wait 1 second. Modernization is a change in way of thinking. Modernization. Economic change, political change, technological change, social change, any change. Psychological happenings inside your mind. Okay, please write down here. Okay, 1 second, don't write. What I'm trying to say is that change in way of thinking will lead to change in all other aspects. That's what we are trying to write. Okay, you can write down now. Change in way of thinking. And then you can start writing in intellectual sphere, in religious sphere, in economic sphere, in political, and in religious sphere, social. Keep writing. So once the way of thinking of a society changes over a period of time, you will see all other aspects of their life will slowly undergo a change, and then you will say a modernization of the society is happening. Near industrialization, I've written two things in the bracket: urbanization and globalization. Okay. Now, what we do is we try to see some points about each of these words. Okay. First, come out of this chart, take that heading: rationalization. Is rationalism an idea? Rationalism is an idea. Rationalization is a process by which people are becoming more rational. Yes, please write down. Rationalization. Firstly, please come out of the chart, give us a small side heading. We are taking one or two lines for these words, that's all. Because in exam, this is what matters. When you use good terminologies, examiner will feel impressed. Please write down. It refers to a change in the way of thinking. Rationalization. It refers to the change in the way of thinking in the society in which reason, inside brackets write down, not blind faith, in which reason, inside brackets, not blind faith, bracket close, becomes the guiding light for thought and action. Read it and understand it once. Guiding light for thought and action. And whatever you have to think and whatever you have to do, that should be based on some reason, logic, evidence and proof. Yes, sir. Otherwise, if you're acting it's out of simply blind faith in something, you're not a rational person. The more a society is becoming rational, that process you are calling it as rationalization. Is rationalization an important element of modernization? Yes or no, please? But now, you see, I used two words, humanism and rationalism. For rationalism, the process is called rationalization. For modernity, the process is modernization. But for humanism, there is no such word called humanization. So don't think that there is a word like humanization, nothing like that. But it's understood that humanism is also one of that ideology which should be a feature of a person who is modern in the way of thinking and analysis. Within the rationalization, I want you people to add one more line. Within rationalization, one more line, please. In short, it emphasizes the necessity, understand and write, beautiful point. In short, it emphasizes the necessity of humans to think independently. Necessity of humans to think independently for themselves. And not believe and follow others blindly. That's what Buddha was saying. Yes or no? Yes, please. Buddha? You should not believe anyone blindly, Nana. The moment you start believing blindly, will someone start manipulating you? Yes or no, please? Eye pains. That's where you'll become a puppet in their hands. Nana, you all have some brains for yourself? Yes or no? Don't you think a good teacher should actually not simply dump knowledge into your brains, but actually make you think independently and arrive at balanced opinions, independent opinions for yourself? And then a good teacher cheyalsinde? Yes or no? Was that the same thing Buddha was trying to do in the ancient times? What the Brahmins at the time telling, hey, whatever we tell you should listen. How dare you question the Brahmins? If you question us, we will give you a curse. That's when Buddha said, get lost, you do whatever you want to do. If you ask me to believe in Vedas, I will believe in Vedas, but give me reason. You justify yourself, then I will believe you. And that kind of attitude is what you're talking in rationalism. Second point, and a beautiful again deadly discussion also. Secularization. What is the idea behind this? Secular. The secularization is the process. The idea behind it will be secularism. Yes or no, please? Yes. Secularization. First, I want you people to write one line and understand what do you mean by secularization. Go ahead. It refers to the process of reduction of influence of religion on human mind. But reduction of influence of religion on human mind, but not its elimination. Yes or no? But not its elimination. Does secularism talk about eliminating all religions? No, please. Nana, generally we see this word. Theist believes in God. Theists believe in God.
Yes.
They say there is no God. Okay, it is your personal opinion. You don't want to believe in God? Go to hell. Don't believe. No problem. But there are some dangerous people. Very dangerous. Anti-theists. They don't believe in God. They are atheists and they don't want others also to believe in God. Such people are anti-theists. Is secularism anti-theism? Is secularism anti-theism? No, please. Secularism is, is not anti-religious. It is only asking for reduction of influence of religion, but not elimination. Let's write down next line. It only calls for making religion a private or a personal matter. It only calls for making religion a private or a personal matter with a reduced influence in public life. The reduced influence in public life because religious belief is concerned with an individual's connection with God. Individual's connection with God. And thus, secularization is not an anti-religious concept.